Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Monday, January 20th, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2025. A historic snow and ice storm is setting up for the southern U.S. with dangerous cold weather for most of the country. Keep calm. It's boom time. A quick check-in at the LA fire. Here are some updates on the Southern California as it's bracing for its latest threat of extreme fire weather. That began earlier today, will end tomorrow afternoon. The good news, there have been no pop-up fires. Western Altadena got evacuation orders many hours after the Eaton fire exploded, and 17 people died there. But the good news is that some of those evacuation orders have been lifted. There are no new fires. Currently, just 2 California fires. The Palisades fire, 61% contained, has been burning for 13 days. And the Eaton fire as well, 13 days burning, 87% contained, as the evacuation orders and mandatory evacuations have been lifted in some regions. Brutal cold will be spreading across Long Island after the winter storm leaves snow and slippery roads. Let's take a look at the winter storm that hit the Northeast over the last 48 hours, bringing a foot or more. Look at this, 18 inches to the mountains of West Virginia, but a foot or more in western PA, as well as up in New York, Albany, and the coast of Maine. It's insane. So a moderate system that moved up through there over the last few days. We're about to have a historic storm from Houston to Jacksonville. It will be record-breaking, folks. As Pensacola crews, they're preparing bridges and roads for snow and ice as the city readies for record weather. Holy macaroni. 70 million in the U.S. under storm warnings amid snow and Arctic blast. As the winter weather forecast comes into focus, with the Pensacola area expecting 2 to 4 inches of snow, the city of Pensacola is making preparations to keep the community safe. It means there's going to be power outages and it's going to be difficult travel for days. A historic snow and ice storm is threatening gridlock and major power outages from Texas to Florida. Texas, the nexus of the schmexus, could be one of the hardest hit areas, as well as Louisiana. Travel near the Gulf Coast may be dangerous or impossible for days, as a rare winter storm with heavy snow and ice blasts areas from San Antonio and Houston to Texas, Jacksonville, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, and more. Holy macaroni. Let's take a look at some of the forecasts. This is when snow arrives Monday night to Wednesday morning from San Antonio all the way up to Greenville, North Kakalaki. On Tuesday, the storm will develop in a major way with a huge corridor of ice and snow from Texas all the way through Florida. It will be raining in Florida in the morning, but that will rapidly turn to snow as this system moves east with snow from Texas all the way to Georgia. The snowfall totals Monday night through Wednesday morning will be historic in areas like Houston and areas of Louisiana, but the Gulf Coast of Florida, including Pensacola and the Panhandle, may also pick up some record totals, depending on what models are showing up. And there will be ice. Will it be severe? Well, in some regions it may be, and that will lead to power outages. And, well, the power could be off in these regions for days. So I hope you're prepared and not scared. Here's the full forecast. Dangerous cold weather for most of the country and a rare winter storm for the South, with fire weather concerns in Southern California. Arctic air will filter south and east through early this week. As this cold air moves across the South, a rare winter storm is forecast to develop from Texas, Gulf Coast states into the southeast through early this week. Several new daily record low temperatures are expected, including new record low maximums For Southern California, fire weather concerns increase this week as we keep a close eye on that. Take a look at how many regions are in this dangerous extreme cold warning. That's all of the blue. Who knew? Now you do. The rest of the country in the lighter blue has a cold weather advisory all the way to the south, where we have winter storm warnings and watches listed for hundreds of counties, including dozens in Florida. This will be a dangerous storm for some from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, even South Carolina. Many of these areas will experience long-term power outages, and I hope this isn't a region that does not receive this type of weather. In fact, we were going to see some areas that have seen the most snow ever on the ground, ever recorded in modern times. So our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to all those that are going to be affected starting now through Wednesday. A quick look at some of the updated models. The first one we'll look at is the CMC model. Here is Tuesday through Wednesday, and you can see that showing heavy snow, 8 to 10 inches, and lots of the snow falling literally in the Gulf of Mexico, a historic storm. Could be a wide swath of snow also on the panhandle of Florida. Let's take a look at the GFS model. It looks quite different. The GFS model showing heavy snow for Louisiana, East Texas. Northern Florida is going to be hammered, according to the GFS, as well as southern Georgia and the coastal regions of South Carolina and North Carolina. One other model, which is showing the least amount of snow, is the Icon, but all of these are showing areas of 5 to 6 inches in Florida, as well as Louisiana. So something big is afoot. And the only problem is that these are models that work on numerical data from historical events. There are no historical events like this in the South, just a few. And so there's very little for these models to go on. Whatever develops tomorrow will be historic, and we will report on it tomorrow night. Southern Taiwan rattled by a strong 6 magnitude earthquake. The good news is, well, no one was hurt because things are built better in Taiwan. Seismic update. There you can see the rumbler there in Taiwan. Multiple aftershocks, obviously, from the event. Normal activity worldwide, albeit slightly increased. This could have been a result of that coronal hole that had coupled with us about 12 hours ago. Mount Rainier is being monitored closely as scientists keep watch for signs of volcanic activity. The good news is that everything has been background. The reason why this volcano here, Mount Rainier, is monitored so closely and some of the other volcanoes not so much is this is just located less than 70 miles from Seattle. And an eruption here, well, would mean extreme tragedy downslope. Worldwide volcano news. Sakurajima, first on the list today, 7,000-foot blast. Conleon to 9,000 foot. Ducono to 8. Sangay to 20,000 feet. Santiaguito to 14. Nevado de Ruiz, 20,000-foot blast. Suanacima, 6,000 foot today. Kilauea, the activity has been halted. So maybe another phase of the eruption will emerge in the days to come. Gridlock in Iceland, seismic activity increases. Yes, take a look at this. The seismic activity near Gridlock continues to intensify. Nearly 100 earthquakes above M1 have been recorded in January so far. This figure is comparable to the December 2024, which saw the highest monthly count of earthquakes ever documented in the area. What does it mean? Well, it's anyone's guess, but there is some uptick in volcanic activity in Iceland now, isn't there? Liwatobi puffing and passing today. Marapi on the list as well. Ibu to 8,000 feet. Semadu to 15,000. Popo to 20,000. Purace or Purace, 19,000 foot puff, a new name on the list. Reventador puffing and passing. Canleon as well. Sungay to 20,000 feet, Santiaguito, possible volcanic ash there. Ibu to 8. Liwatobi, 10,000 foot puff there. Conleon to 9. Semeru to 15,000 foot. Nevada de Ruiz to 22,000 foot. Popo to 20,000 foot. Whew, quite a list. Liwatobi to 10,000. Shivalush, 14,000 foot puff. Reventador to 14,000. Ducona to 8. Wrapping up the list for the day. Holy macaroni. Space weather. Let's take a look. Not much going on. All flaring in the sea range for at least 36 hours. Big sunspots facing us, but doing absolutely nothing. The only uptick was a minor G1 geomagnetic storm, which was barely geomagnetic instability, in my opinion, but a high-speed solar wind stream around 600 kilometers per second was detected when the BZ shifted south here. And plasma speed has been rising ever since, and it's this flexure point that may have caused that Taiwan quake. Now, how to see all the solar system's planet in a single night sky all at once? Well, all 7 of the other planets in our solar system are about to become visible at once in a great planetary alignment. And if you want to know when that's happening, the great alignment, including Mercury, will only happen for a few evenings around the 28th of February, depending on your location. We'll have more details as the date gets closer. As scientists discover a mysterious pale glow embedded in the northern lights, more discoveries in the aurora. In the last 5 years, we've discovered Steve, red, and white, and now a strange pale gray glow has been spotted amidst the vibrant greens, reds of the Aurora Borealis, leaving scientists puzzled. But anyone who's been following this channel for the last decade knows it is indicative of the magnetic excursion ongoing, and as we deepen into it, more and more auroral activity is being revealed, until one day we'll all wake up to Squatter Man dancing in the skies. Giant reserves of gold, hydrogen, may be lurking beneath at least 30 U.S. states. First of its kind map reveals where the hydrogen is. Take a look at the map. The areas in the darkest blue have the most hydrogen. Hello, Michigan. We're coming for you. And you're blue. Who knew? Now you do. We've got tons of hydrogen. The map, which you can explore here if you click the link, is the first to show prospective locations for hydrogen on such a large scale. And there's tons of it. And we're going to drill, baby, drill. Early humans had surprising diets 3.5 million years ago. These scrawny little hominids that will eventually evolve into us, well, they didn't eat much meat, which kept their brains tiny and these hominids stupid. It wasn't until about a million and a half years ago, we started eating more and more meat and fats at the onset of the major glaciations that our brains began to grow and we became much smarter, and well, the rest is history. It's not a mystery. What isn't a mystery either is that President Joseph Biden is the biggest scumbag on earth, worst president ever. He now preemptively pardons Anthony Fauci today, Mark Milley, and the entire January 6th committee, as well as his entire family. And if you didn't know, folks, the reason you pardon someone is because they've done something illegal. All of these people are criminals. The entire Biden administration is a organized crime corruption syndicate. And thank God they are finally gone as Donald Trump signs executive order after executive order focused on the border, energy, freedom of speech, and the jailing of political prisoners. God bless you, Donald Trump. And we've just partnered with Outages, one of the burgeoning breakthrough companies that are making home power centers, portable power stations that can allow you to survive and thrive in conditions like we're about to experience in the South. These backup batteries you can plug in your refrigerator, any appliance, run your home, run a heater, do everything you need in case of a time of need. The new Outages Exodus 1200 portable power was just released yesterday. It is a breakthrough in technology and a reduction in cost by a major factor. Similar units like this have sold for over $1,500 in the last few years, and we are now down to $699 for a backup power station that can save your family's life. Right now, because it's the launch and we've partnered with them, for the next 25 hours, you get it at half price, $350 off for the Outages Exodus 1200 portable power station. Support the channel and support your preparedness and get some backup power. That's not the only option they have. You can get almost anything from Outages, including systems that will power your entire home for days. Now, the good news is that the technology has increased, so you can charge this unit using the sun, using your car, or using your hardwired electricity. It's your choice. So join the revolution in freedom and preparedness and get your family a portable power station where even if the power goes off for days, using only the sun, you can stay alive and thrive, just like we like it. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please hit the thumbs up. It's free. Helps with the algorithm. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do and watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel grow.